Hey friend, I am so excited to share a little bit more about Honeybook today. I love Honeybook so much. It is just a crucial part of our business and how we survive. But one of the biggest things that I love about it is the workflow. So today I'm going to show you how to put together your first workflow in Honeybook, because I know sometimes it can be overwhelming and they have so many tools. So as you can see, these are all of our projects that we have in here in the pipeline. We don't really use the pipeline too much, but the workflows is really like where we get so much value. So there's lots of tools in here. The templates are really important, and I'll show you how we use that in the workflow too. But the biggest thing I'm going to show you is just how to set up your first workflow, because I know that's the hardest part, is just getting started. So I'm going to help make that hopefully a little bit easier for you. So if you just come in here into your tools and head down to workflows, we'll just create a whole new one so you can kind of see what it looks like. We have a ton because we just have so many different facets of our business. We do mini sessions, family sessions, weddings, seniors, engagements, bridals, all the things. So we have a lot of different options in here. And we even have one for our rehearsal dinners. So to make a new workflow template, you just hit the button, super easy peasy. These are the options of things that the workflow can do for you. You can create a brochure in Honeybook if you don't have a really beautiful PDF that you send out to people. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. You can create a brochure in here, and I'll show you even what that looks like so you can kind of see ours. But you can have it set up to where you automatically have a brochure that's sent out to them. So let's say you want that to be your very first step, is you have an inquiry that comes in, and the first thing that you want is to make sure that they get your brochure. So for us, we have a wedding collection brochure. So we'll just have that one be the template that gets sent out. And then you select what email you want to be sent with this message. So for us, for the wedding collections, like see how we have a few different options for brochures. We have a family brochure. I believe we have a wedding brochure one as well. So that's the email, and you can set up all of these email templates in Honeybook as well. So that's kind of step one, is creating all of the email templates. But a lot of times you don't know what you're going to need until you start creating this. So usually I would just come in and create another tab. Let's just kind of duplicate this one. And you can see that as well. Oops, wait, we want to stay on this one. And then in this one, we want to head out of here. So now in here, what you want to do in the tools, and now that you know, okay, I'm going to need it, then you want to come into your tools and go to your templates. And then you want to go to your emails. So you can see we have a ton of email templates in here. So I'll go ahead and just pull up the wedding brochure email. We have things organized by kind of type, so if we have mini sessions, these are all of our mini emails that go out with it. It just seems to be the easiest way to have as many emails as we do organized as best as possible. So we have the wedding brochure. So this is just to give you a little idea of a template for us of what we would say and include in that. So this is where you can come in and say, here's our brochure, congratulations, we're so excited for you, when you get engaged, blah, blah, blah. All the things that you'd usually say in your original email to your client, you can have be sent automatically, which is great. You can also have it not sent automatically, if you want to have them, when they inquire originally, if you want to make sure that this is approved before sending, you can do that too, so that you can tailor what you're going to say to them. And then you can just have this be set up to where it goes out right away, right as soon as you activate the workflow. So let's say you want that to be step one. We send out a different brochure, so it's a little bit different of a process for our workflow. Our workflow starts once they become a client, not beforehand. So but you can set it up however you want. So I want to be able to show you all the different options that they have. So once you have this set up, just go ahead and hit save just so we don't lose anything. And then you just go ahead and start adding the things that you want. So say the next thing after that, you want to send them, maybe you want to send them an email full of helpful blog posts. You can set up an email. You want to write that email, right? So you have to come in here and say, helpful wedding blog posts or something. And then that way you can go ahead and choose whatever email that is. I'm just going to pick one at random. It's just so that you can kind of see, like, we'll just do another brochure one. But just whatever email you want to be sent out. And then maybe you want this to be sent out 5 days after they've received their brochure. So they've had time to look at it, and then that way you can provide value to them. Maybe this is something you want to be sent out automatically. So you can go ahead and just leave it to be sent out automatically. And then let's say they become a client. For us, like I said, we set up our workflow afterward so that we know everything is happening all at once, if that makes sense. So once they become a client, we have a set workflow. So let's just pretend that now they're a client. They have the brochure, they've booked with you, and they're your client. So you want to create a task of, say, putting their session or their wedding date, put their wedding date in the calendar. You can have whatever task you want be set up for how many ever days. So maybe it's 10 days after, or maybe the task is meet with the client. If you're going through this beforehand and you're like, set up a meeting with them, and then if they don't end up booking, this could be your pre-booking workflow or something. So you can change it, the title, do whatever you want. Like, truly, you can make this however you want. So say that's your pre-booking workflow. So then let's go ahead and start talking about like after they become a client. So say this is your wedding workflow. You can change the title in here. You can save it. So you can put in as many tasks as you want. So say you wanted to go back to putting wedding date in the calendar. Super easy. Maybe you put it in your Google Calendar. If you create a project in Honeybook, it will put it in your calendar. I just like to have my calendar have a bunch of different notifications on there, so you don't have to make this be one of your tasks. I'm just kind of explaining how you can use this. So say now that you've had that task done, you want to go ahead and have their questionnaire get sent to them. So you're like, okay, great. I want to make sure you get your questionnaire. So let's get their wedding questionnaire. So we have 2 different wedding questionnaires. We have one that gets sent out right away that just asks some simple questions that we know we're going to need right away in order to send over their proposal. So we'll go ahead and send this one with the email that goes with it. So the wedding questionnaire has its own email. Yep, this one down here. So like I said, if you're creating this from scratch, you obviously have to come in here and create those emails so that you have the email that's going to be attached to this action. So the action is sending the questionnaire. This is the template of the questionnaire that you're going to have to set up, which is the same if you come in here to your templates. Along with emails, there's also templates for everything. So your invoices, your contracts, your proposals. We typically send just proposals, which is like your invoice and your contract and everything all together. But if you wanted to do it individually and you had certain invoices that you sent out, you could do templates for this, templates for the contract, and then your proposal. I think you have to put all of your contracts in individually, and then your proposal is just setting up it all together as one. So we have a bunch of different proposal templates. We have 12 different questionnaires, 9 different brochures, and then different packages that we have throughout those things as well. And then obviously a ton of email templates. So this kind of gives you an idea of like all the different templates that you can set up, which I know might seem overwhelming when you're just starting, but my recommendation to you is to just start with one thing. So especially for us, we shoot everything, and so it was really overwhelming to get started. But what I did for myself was I just picked one thing. So if someone booked a family session. I just went ahead and created all the things that I knew I would need for that family session. And then it was done. That section was done. And now every time I have a family session, this is already all set up for me. And then same with the wedding. Next wedding we booked, I was like, okay, I'm making this my priority to get this done. So I just did it one by one, as opposed to overwhelming myself with the fact that, I was going to need weddings and bridals and engagements and all the different things. Like, I just started with one and then worked my way from there as each person booked that item, because otherwise it was just really a little too overwhelming for me. So I hope that that is somewhat helpful. So anyway, so you can set this up to where it sends your questionnaire, sends it with that template that you have, and then this is the email that goes out with it. So for us, that email just is pretty simple, straightforward email. And you could just have one if if you only shoot weddings. Gosh, it will make your life so much easier. At least hopefully easier than ours. So we have this questionnaire. It's really simple. We just say, congratulations again. This is so exciting. We're so happy for you. We're honored that you picked us. Below is our questionnaire. Please fill it out, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of how we have that set up. We just try to make it as personal as possible. This one gets sent out automatically, so we don't even have to worry about it. But like I said, you can always do approve before sending. You can change it. You can make this, be at a certain time frame. Like with the questionnaire, we kind of just want it to go once it's been activated. But you could have it set up, after you activate the workflow, you could have it set up to go 2 days after. And then let's just say you're just doing the wedding. You're just photographing their wedding day, nothing else. Their couple from out of town or something. So then maybe the next thing that you want is to send just an email to check in with them. So I would set up an action that says, like, we have an email that goes out actually, 100 days before, like our check-in email goes out 100 days before their wedding. So it's like 100 days till your big day, woohoo. Okay, so in here, that action would be send an email. And then I'd find that email. So I'd come down to weddings and find the check-in email. And then now, because I know what this says, because I know it says 100 days, holy smokes, can you believe there's only 100 days to your wedding? Then we set this up to say we want it sent 100 days before the project date. And I want it to be sent automatically. I don't want to think about this. I don't want to be late. This is why Honeybook is so amazing, because it's just automatically sends these emails for you. Like this makes a couple feel like I am paying attention and I care about them and I'm counting down the days till their wedding. Like that's the kind of experience I want to give them. So that's what Honeybook allows me to do because that's where my heart is. I want to send all these emails, but doing them manually is just too time consuming. And it's just not possible. So it is so much easier to have Honeybook do this for me. So once you set it up, you are golden, and it is happening every single time, which is just miraculous. Anyway, so this would be, a check-in email that I would have sent automatically. You can just go ahead and keep saving these changes for yourself. And then you just set up any tasks that you want. Like maybe you want to send them a gift and, you want to send them a client gift. Or like a wedding gift or whatever sort of gifting that you use. Or like a magazine. We send out a magazine. So if you send a client gift in a magazine and you want this to be, you could either do before their wedding or after they book, or, maybe you want this to get sent out 200 days before or something. So a lot of times our couples are booking, a year in advance. So then that kind of gives you a good idea. But if you have this set up to where it says 200 days and then you book a wedding and it's shorter than that, then it will give you the option to approve before sending, which is really nice. So, but this is just a task, so nothing is being sent. But just in general, that's good to know, is that it's only going to be manual if you see that the workflows can be activated manually on the date you apply to a project or automatically via the contact form. So anyway, it just gives you so many options to really think through the experience that you want your couples or families or seniors to have. You really just want to make sure your client is having the experience that you want to give them. So I hope that this was helpful to kind of show you all the different options. You can set up as many tasks as you want, shoot the wedding. And this is, after the project date or however you want to, set up the days. But really, there's just a task, so the timing doesn't quite matter just as much. Maybe you have a task for afterward, blogging the wedding. You want this to be set up after the project date, a couple days or so. You can really just fill this out however you want to do it. And then, yeah, like even the emails, it's great to have, to ask for reviews. So we have a review email that gets sent out, after the project date. We like to make sure it's plenty of time after their wedding so they've had lots of time to think about it all. So this can get sent out automatically. These are just all things that truly, aside from the tasks, like all of these things are just happening automatically. You don't even have to think about it. So once you've set that up, you're just golden and set up for success. So take the time to do this. If you would like $200 off your first year of Honeybook, please be sure to check in with us because we have that little gift for you guys. So I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon.